Support for your public radio station comes from our members and from Bob Johnson Auto Group, proud supporter of Connections with Evan Dawson. Believing an informed public makes for a stronger community. BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com.
For WXXI News, I'm Raquel Stephen, filling in for Evan Dawson, and this is Connections. Mo Jackson is a high school football coach, and he made headlines last month when he parted ways with Aquinas Institute. Just after leading their football team to a Section 5 AA championship, but not long after, he found a new home at Virtus High School, a mostly black all-boys charter school where he's now leading their young football program. At Aquinas, it was all about winning. At Virtus, is just as much about mentorship and guiding young black men both on and off the field. In this hour, we're going to hear more about Coach Jackson's story, talk about his approach to coaching and leadership, and hear why mentorship is important for students and adults. Mo Jackson's in studio with me, football coach at Virtus Charter High School. Thanks for coming, Mo.
Yeah, for sure. How you doing, Rocky?
I'm great. Thank you for being here. And to your left, right? This is your left, right?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
We have Maurice Rice is the lead preceptor and also the assistant head coach at Virtus. He joins us here today. Hi, Maurice.
How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for coming. And across the table, this is the exciting part. We have two players here with me, all right? And both of you guys are juniors, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes, and both football players at Virtus, Jariel Medina, and Michael Rogers. Hi, guys. Thanks for coming.
Hi.
You got to skip school today. I know you're excited about that. Now, Mo, let's get right into it, right? Can you tell our listeners about your background, your football background? When did it start, and how did you get into coaching?
Okay. So my football background started with the Southwest Colts as a youngster. 8 or 9 years old, my dad walked me up. We lived right across the street from the field, so he walked us across the street, and the rest is history. But we, from there, I went and played at Marshall High School, where I had a pretty good career. It allowed me to earn a scholarship to play at Syracuse University. Played there for 4 years.
That's more than pretty good, if you ask me. Yeah.
So played at Syracuse for 4 years, and then I had a stint in the NFL with the Bills, and then went and played in Canada with the British Columbia Lions on the West Coast. Loved it over there, and then came back. Went through my injury phase, hurt myself, and then played 3 years of arena football. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Coaching kind of came about. I started coaching at SUNY Morrisville. I coached at Morrisville for 2 years when I was still staying in Syracuse. And then when I came home, I went and coached at the University of Rochester for 5 years with a good friend of mine, Scott Green, former NFL player as well.
Wow.
And then, I opened my training business, the MJ School, where I trained a bunch of the high school athletes, some college athletes, and some professional athletes from the area. And every year, a few parents would, nudge me and ask me to come and help their kids' team play. So I kind of took them up on it, first with UPrep a few years ago, and then a year after that, over at Aquinas, had a bunch of Aquinas kids that were asking me to come. So I actually went over there, and then, one thing led to another, and the head coaching job kind of fell in my lap over there. So I wasn't really looking to be a head coach at all, but once you get, linked to kids, you start to, get those connections, and then,
Yeah, and it just falls, like you said, it falls in your lap.
Right.
And at Aquinas, you had a pretty good run there, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about what you accomplished at Aquinas?
Yeah. So when I got there, it was, they were down. They've been down for some years. I got there the first year as a, just an assistant coach. I think we won 3 games, and then the next year I became the head coach. We took those 3 wins to 7 wins, and then the year after that is when we won the sectional title and was really one play away from making it to the state championship football game.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you just recently parted ways with the institution.
Yeah.
And you and I spoke.
Yeah.
We've done a ton of interviews together. And in one of the interviews, you said after you parted ways with them, you were going to take a break from coaching,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And shortly after,
Yeah.
you made headlines again with your move to Virtus Charter High School.
Yeah.
And I called you immediately, what just happened?
Right.
What made you change your mind? Can you tell us about
Yeah.
going to Virtus and what happened there that made you
Right. It started with this guy to my left.
to your left?
Good friend of mine, Mo Rice. So Mo's been actually like talking me into football for a while now. He probably don't even remember. Like as adults, as older men, we would go out and play flag football in these leagues. And a couple of years I was like, I'm not playing if Mo not playing. So Mo was out there playing. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna come play. So Mo gave me he sent me a text and said, before you make your decision, come and check Virtus out. Give Virtus a shot.
Yes.
I visited Virtus a couple years ago with a mentor of myself, Joe Carter. He was over there. He brought me in and talked to some kids there, and I liked the vibe. And then when Mo asked me to come and give it a shot and look into it, I went over there, and immediately it was a no-brainer. It just felt like home. It felt like where I was supposed to be, and what my steps were ordered to do. So, like I said, it was a no-brainer. We talked about some things and got some things in order, and here we are.
Yeah, and you said it felt like home.
Yeah.
Right? Can you speak on that? Because when we say feels like home, that's pretty profound, right? What about it felt like home to you?
Going through the school and meeting a bunch of the kids, these two was included in that. I kind of saw myself in a lot of these little boys.
Yes.
It was something that felt good. It felt really good to be in that kind of space, and meeting a bunch of little kids that were hungry, a bunch of little black boys that were hungry and wanted to it was a change happening anyways. I think they were in looking for a new head coach. So once I got in there and started talking to the kids, it just felt like, this is a great place. The atmosphere over there is amazing. It's like the morning meetings that we have as a school is nothing like it. And it's right in line with what I'm about. So it definitely was, something that I couldn't pass up, the opportunity. Like they often say that, schools are lucky to have me because of my background, but I'm lucky that, Virtus exists, because this is probably the only place that I would have said yes to at that time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, you're coaching predominantly black boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a change of philosophy when you're coaching a team of 98% children, students of minority students at this school? So is there a different philosophy
not a different philosophy. Football is football.
Yes.
I learned the game one way, and that's the only way I'm gonna coach it. The only difference is because I can relate to a lot more. I can relate on a different level to these boys. The kids over at Aquinas, I love the kids. I loved every one of them. Those are my guys. But it's a little different when you got kids that remind you of yourself a lot.
Yeah.
So it's different. It's fun. But like I said, those boys over there, we all have a relationship. I have a relationship with them. I still talk to the kids, from Aquinas. But I'm excited about this new opportunity.
Oh, nice. And Maurice, I want to talk to you because you made that initial phone call to Mo Jackson to tell him, like, hey, we need you here. You should come check it out. What made you think of Mo for this position? What made you think this was a great fit for him?
Well, actually, I've been kind of throwing that name out there for years. Just like, hey, man, come coach with me, man. Let's do this. But when we were going through the changes, I thought the students needed something new, something fresh. I also coach,
Yes.
and I know they know me well, but I felt like they needed, a guy that has come from their background, that has played on the highest level, and a guy of his knowledge to just come and be different for them, teach. Yeah. And like I told Mo, like, hey, man, as soon as they get to know you, they're going to love you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're seeing already. So the decision was easy. It was an easy call. It was an easy text. I'm actually still surprised that he actually answered it.
Yeah.
But
you didn't bribe him at all, right? No bribery.
No bribe.
I'm bad with my phone. That's what he's saying. I'm bad with answering texts and calls.
And this football program is fairly new.
Yeah.
This is fairly new. How long has it been? 4 years, I believe?
This will be the fourth year.
This will be the fourth year. Now at Aquinas, this program is pretty well known, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you just brought it back to glory. But here you're taking a pretty young department, right,
Yeah.
and trying to get it to that next level.
Yeah.
Any pressure at all?
Of course.
Yes.
It's pressure. It's a lot of pressure, actually, because I don't look at it as this ain't for me. It's about the boys. It's about them having that experience. It's about them having a fun high school career. And in this game, nothing's fun unless you're winning. So the pressure is on to win, even though I know, like, I always say football is a built-in mentorship program too, because as coaches, we mentor the boys and all that kind of stuff. So I know they're going to take some things that they'll take into life with them that's going to help them out with being successful. But of course, you want them to have those stories about how their football team was successful, and it's our job to provide those memories for them.
Yeah, and as a coach, right, you do play multiple roles,
Yes.
especially when dealing with young black men, right?
yep.
Sometimes you can be a father figure.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready to take on that role as well?
Absolutely, 100%. If I couldn't, I wouldn't do it at all. Like I would just step back and watch the games and be a fan. But we need guys like myself, like Mo Rice and the others, guys. And I say that to about all football coaches, because we all got to take on that role to help grow the sport, to help maintain the sport's integrity and stuff like that. So it takes a lot of good men to do the job that we're doing. None of us do it for the pay, because if you knew what we got paid, that's not why we do it. And that's not a shot at it. It's just, it is what it is. So I applaud any coaches that coach at the high school level up north here. It's a different beast in the South. That's a full-time job. But the mentorship part and being a father figure to the players is something that has to happen. So it's a no-brainer to me.
Yes. And you said something very profound. You said, when we talked before, you said your mission, right, and is to create successful men on and off the field. And that's when you've done your job.
Yep. So when my mission, like you said, is I need these guys to grow up and think about the tough times in practice, the things that I've said to them that they still play back in their own minds, because it's happening to me all the time. I hear my coach's voice in the back of my mind, telling me stuff that I took into life that helped me out. So I want them to have those kind of memories, and so that they can say, coach, when they see me when I'm 65 and 70 years old, they're still going to call me coach, because that's when you've done your job, when they're looking up to you and loving you still. But that's why we do it. know.
Can you talk a little bit about mentorship beyond the football field, right? And what does that look like?
So mentorship beyond football. I tell the guys to approach everything in life like you approach the game. Like, if you love the game, you're going to go out there, you're going to work hard, you're going to practice hard, you're going to play hard. Approach your schoolwork like that. Approach your career like that. Because if you do, you're going to land in a good spot. But the mentorship part of football, we deal with the physical mainly, right? These guys are running themselves into each other and all that kind of stuff. But for me, the mental toughness is the piece that I kind of focus on a bit more, because if you're going to be a winning program, you got to pay attention to detail. And if you can't pay attention to detail while you're dead tired, then we need to work on that mental toughness part, because you need to be able to think while you're working hard. And if you can get them to take that into life, the lessons and the things that they're gonna be able to achieve, they're gonna look back and say, I got that from Coach Mo. I got that from Coach Mo Rice. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that is important in the mentorship part of football.
Yeah.
It's not just a game. It's it's really a lifestyle.
And I want to flip this, right? Because how does that relationship kind of benefit you on the field, right? When you provide that mentorship to young men, now they want to play harder for you, right? Can we talk about that?
You asking these questions like you're a
because I play.
vet.
Listen,
You're a
I
seasoned
watch
vet.
football. Okay,
I like
I
it.
know.
Yeah.
I know where the yard line and the field goal, how many points that is. I know all of that stuff.
So I'm glad you asked that, because the mentorship part of it is about trust.
Yes.
Right. You got to get them to trust you, and when you're opening their eyes, getting those brow raising moments, and the things that you're teaching them, they're going out there and doing it, and it's working. Then they want more. You know what I mean? So now they really trust you, and they know you're talking, telling them the right stuff. So it's a level of trust that you gain. And then, once you've gained that trust, you got it throughout life. And all my boys, everybody that I've coached, and I'm pretty sure everybody that most coached, we always tell our kids, my phone number ain't changing. If it does, you'll find it, you'll get it. I'm always one call away.
Yes.
So guys that I coached back at Mooresville, we still, talk on Facebook.
So you haven't changed your phone number since then?
No.
You're pretty stable.
I don't think so. But they all know that I'm always one phone call away. So, and it'll be the same with these boys, I'm sure. But that's just the mentorship part of the program, is being that father figure and never going nowhere.
And Mo, when you allowed me to witness your first meeting with your new team, right? The applause that these young men gave you when you walked into that gymnasium.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
Pressure. You walk in and they're clapping because they're happy that I chose to say yes to the position. But to me, it felt like, all right, damn, here comes, this is full of pressure
Yes.
right now, because I got to deliver. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? I got to deliver, and I'm not worried about the football part of it, because that's gonna take care of itself. As long as they're having fun, as long as they know that we got a cause, we all, we're gonna win together, we're gonna lose together. As long as they know that kind of stuff, it's a win. But you still, as a coach, as a competitor, you want to win football games.
Yes.
Yeah.
So. And Maurice, when the school found out that Mo Jackson was going to be your new head coach, what was the response? What was the community? What was the talk? Give me the gossip. What happened?
It was we kind of kept it low for a while. We didn't want to announce it too soon. Jokingly with Mo here, I would text him like, "Hey, so when can I announce this, or when's your first day?"
Was it because of the headlines before? Was it because of the departure from Aquinas?
Not so much. We pride ourselves on making sure we do everything right. So we wanted to make sure everything was in line before we said, okay, this is the announcement, the big announcement. And the excitement around the school was on another level. Teachers, staff, our school community, we're all very excited to have, a person of his caliber in the building. Not just football, just a community guy, known for football, but also known for being in the community and being a man of character. And that's what we're building here at Virtus, leaders of character. So a lot of excitement.
And if you're just tuning in with us, we have Mo Jackson here, the head football coach at Virtus High School, along with Maurice Rice, the lead preceptor. Is that right?
Yes.
Can we, before I continue with your accolades, what is a preceptor? Because I did a little research. It's a lot.
Yes.
Can you give me a little bit of what a lead preceptor is?
So, first, a preceptor is what we have been talking about this whole time. Is a mentor.
Yes.
We're the role models. The position, you receive a team of about 15 to 20 students that you are responsible for their success. So that's attendance, that's grades, always checking in with parents, behavior, things of that nature. Then we go above and beyond. So we talk to parents a lot. We get to know the parents, the families, and we like to say, like, the student is ours, but the families are as well. So if anything's needed, we're first guys to be called. That's food, that's a ride, that's transportation, that's anything like that. We are responsible for that student's success. Mm-hmm. So that's what a preceptor is. It's a mentor, it's a role model, a liaison, It's a father figure, it's all of that put into one. And so as a lead preceptor, it's my job to make sure our preceptors are doing just that.
Yes.
And I like to say, as a lead preceptor, all the students are mine. So I'm responsible for all of the students in the building. Yeah. And just making sure they're successful in their 4 years and they have a plan when they're done.
So if Mo Jackson is not doing his job, it's your job to get him out of there.
No, he's a behavior and intervention specialist, which is it's all one job. It's all the same. We are all mentors and role models in that building. But no, I can't get on Mo for not doing what he's supposed to do.
Okay, good. Just making sure, Mo. And you're also the assistant head coach.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So why is it important to have a strong role model like Mo Jackson, like yourself, in a school like Virtus?
Like us being role models to the kids?
Yes.
It's very important. They have to see successful men of color that have done it before, have grown up in the neighborhoods that they've grown up in, to see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. It could be going through some tough times and willing to give up or wanting to give up, and then they look at me, they come to school and look at me, and it's like, hey, this guy, he did it. I grew up not too far from where Mo grew up. I grew up on Flint Street. I went to Wilson. I'm in the same places these kids are now. So, like Mo said, we see ourselves in them, and we want to make sure that they succeed. So it's very important to have a good role model, somebody that they can look at and trust, and it's like, okay, well, if I follow what this guy's telling me to do, then I'm going to be successful too. So
Yeah, and how does, I know sports play a huge part in this, right? In breeding success stories. So having this combination of mentorship and athletics, can you speak on how is that going to, how is that?
Yeah. That's another good question, Rock. Because that's something that I've been
I
harping
won't turn
on
your mic off at all.
in the
I
city.
love.
That's something that's something that I actually been harping on in the city for a long time. Because you got to call a spade, right? These kids, they love sports, and you got to almost. My philosophy literally has been, trick them into the classroom with the sports, right? Because that's what they're going to respond to. And, for years, ever since I was a kid, people have been saying it starts at home. And I get that. Yeah, it's true. But at this point, to me, it's like an excuse for us not, for guys like us not doing our jobs. Because if it starts at home and a lot of these, a lot of the young men have issues at home that, we should be helping more. So we kind of take it into our hands and saying, like, we're going to help, get this done regardless of the home situation for a lot of them. So the sports plays a big role because that's the vehicle, right? The sports is the vehicle that can get them on board. We say, you can't do this sport unless the academics are right.
Yeah.
So when you mix the sports that are, getting better with the academics, with the mentorship, with the people that, the men in the building that they can trust, it all goes together. And, the sports play a major part of it because, since you were little, everybody wants to be like Mike, right?
Yes.
So why not use that same kind of metaphor and get them to where they want to be using the sports? And it just works. Before you say, use another method, these kids love sports, plain and simple. So if we can make the sports attractive to them, then we can get them to be attracted to the school part of it too.
Yes. Oh, that's great. That was great. And just a 4-year program. This means more now than ever, right? So we're trying to make sure this grows into a successful program. So bringing Mo Jackson on board right now was strategic.
yes, yes,
Very strategic.
yes.
Yeah, we can keep saying me. Yeah. I'm confident in what I know in the sport, but I go nowhere without my staff. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can coach this game and deal with this many personalities in every single kid. Like, you got to treat each kid the way they need to be treated, right? So the staff that we have, and we're adding to it, is what really put the icing on the cake for me. Being able to coach with a guy like Mo, and the other guys that are in the building that's that are going to be on the staff. I'm excited for the boys to have that, that coaching staff. That's what I'm excited about mostly.
Yeah, and we're going to talk to some of those boys in just a little bit. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll hear from two of our players, Jadiel Medina and Michael Rogers, both juniors at Virtus High School.
Support for your public radio station comes from our members and from Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, believing that everyone deserves to be cared for and to live well. Through community investments, partnerships, and education, Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield is working to address health inequities. More at excellusbcbs.com.
This is Connections. I'm Raquel Stevens, sitting in for Evan Dawson, and we're talking about local football coach Mo Jackson and his role both on and off the field. And my guest, I have a full house today. I'm so excited because everyone decided to come in, and that's the best part of this. Mo Jackson is here. He's now the new head coach of Virtus High School's football team. I have Maurice Rice. He is the lead preceptor, and assistant head coach at Virtus High School. And we have two players here with us, Jariel Medina and Michael Rogers. Hi, fellas. How are you?
I'm good.
How are you?
Good. I'm going to make sure you guys do your homework after this because I feel really bad that you have to miss school. But I know you don't feel bad. Fellas, can we talk a little bit about what the sports mean to you, right? And what type of sports are you in, and why your take to sports?
You want to start? I'll go. Recently, I just started getting into sports more in high school.
Yeah.
I didn't really do it as a younger kid. But I think sports help with discipline. I like it to waste energy, also grow as a person. But football specifically, I don't know what it is. It's just something, it got a hold on me. It's just the best sport I've played so far. And it brings a different type of competition out of you.
Yeah. You said the best sport you've played so far.
Yeah.
What is it that you love about football?
I don't know. It's just I play a receiver position, so I think getting off the line and trying to get the ball, break off a defender, is just fun. When you can and you do it successfully, it's a different type of feeling, especially scoring a touchdown. I don't think much compares to it as of right now. So.
That was great. That was very poetic.
I like that.
That was great. You guys are doing really good at Virtus.
I think I said something like that in my life before.
They're doing really well.
That's good.
and Michael Rogers, can you tell us, what does sports mean to you, and what sports do you play outside of football?
Sports mean a lot. Any other sport I played other than football I ran track for like a year, maybe 2.
Yeah.
But I have been playing football since like 4th grade.
Wow. And Mo Jackson is new, and I know you guys seen some of the headlines, and what was the feeling like when you heard, like, hey, Mo Jackson might be your new head coach, or he's coming in as your new head coach? What was the reaction? How do you guys feel about that?
I felt good because like when I seen on primetime that he won the Section A championship, I feel like that we can go get one now.
Yeah. And for you, Jariel, what did that mean for you when you heard the news?
To be quite honest, at first, I just started getting into football. At first, I didn't know who Mo Jackson was, so I did my research. And I was excited after I heard, especially knowing the respect he has from our coaches already. So, yeah, I was definitely excited.
And what are you most looking forward to now with this new head coach? I know a championship is definitely one of your goals, but what else are you looking forward to?
Growing as a team. Last year, I'm not knocking any players or coaches. We still have a good coaching staff, but I think we need to grow as a team. I think internally it was our downfall because we had a lot of players going at each other for bad plays instead of saying get the next one. And I think he'll be more disciplined too, Yeah.
And how do you feel, Michael?
Just like he said, last year, we didn't really have like that good of a season. So like hopefully we can be better than last year.
And how has it been since I know it's been probably just a few weeks. Do you feel a difference? Do you like him?
Yes.
Do you like him? Because I know some of you may be taller than him. So do
okay. Yeah,
so do you feel like hey,
yeah.
don't get too loud now?
No, he definitely has a presence, and I think he brings more drive out of some students, especially some people act lazy when he gets around.
Yeah.
Some of them put a little bit more effort in.
Yeah. And that relationship between coach and players, right? That mentorship relationship, is that something that you as players look forward to or look for in a coach, having that comfortability where you can actually turn to your coach to be somewhat of a mentor or parental figure?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Can't trust someone on the field that you don't trust off, you know?
Ooh,
So being able to have that connection is good.
yeah. Can you? I know, I know you're like ditto, whatever he said. But how is that? Does that mean a lot to you to have that trust between you and your coach?
Yeah, it means a lot because when he first came in, we had the meeting, and he was talking about trust. It was like, I don't know how to explain it. It was just like when he said if you can't trust them to do their job, how can you do yours?
Yeah.
So we just have to make sure everybody does their own job, and we should all be good.
Yeah. And for as far as the local coach is concerned, you're very high profile, right? You know, your new coach has been in the news a few times. Are you guys prepared for that spotlight? Right? Are you prepared? Because you're going to be, everything you do now is going to be magnified, right? At Virtus. Are you prepared for it? Are you excited about that?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know about prepared, but excited. Yeah, you know.
What about that makes you excited?
Offers like, how do I put this? More connections for players to grow. It gives them more more people to see them. I forgot what's the word called. Sorry, but
Exposure.
Yeah,
Yes,
exposure.
yeah.
Thank you. It gives them more exposure. Less people really see Virtus football.
Yeah. And it'll give you that feeling to work harder.
Yeah.
Right, Michael? Like now when you're in the game, you know that it's game time, it's on.
Yeah.
You have that spotlight. Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about that? How are you preparing for that?
Just like Coach Mo said, mental toughness. You know, I gotta be mentally stable. You know, ready.
Yeah.
And make sure I do whatever I need to so we can win.
Yeah. And what are the end goals for you guys? Are you taking football? Are you trying to take it to the next level? Are you trying to be professional? What is the end goal?
I would like to take it to the next level, but that's always the end goal, I feel like, for most players that play. But just playing football for longer is the goal.
My end goal, it would be, to hold the Lombardi Trophy.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow. I love it. I love it. Reach for the sky. I love it.
Yep.
So as far as, because, we talked a lot about the weight room and discipline in the weight room. And I know when you first met with them, you had these shirts.
Yeah.
How are they doing in the weight room?
So we hadn't had our first official testing day, the one that you earn your shirt on, right? So, but the boys have been in there consistently. We're creeping up. The numbers are creeping up a little bit. So we're getting there. We're getting there. And like I said, it's gonna take some time for everything to blossom, but the journey is the exciting part of it.
Yeah. And like I told them, you being high profile, right? There is this spotlight on you.
Yeah.
And there is this pressure to succeed, right? Are you okay? How are you feeling about that? Because do you think about what if I don't?
Yeah, and football is football. First of all, it's got to be fun, right? It's still a game. So if you're not having fun, you need to duck out. You need to leave, right? First and foremost. But we're not here making promises. Of course, I'm not promising a championship, right now. Of course, that's the goal, and we're gonna fight like hell to get there.
Yeah.
But we want to make sure we're better, right? We're better first, and then we can, our goals are gonna be set championship for sure.
Yeah.
But we want to make sure we're better. We want to make sure we can do things. We want to make sure we're better in the classroom. Make sure we're better, how we present ourselves and things like that. So that's the win for us right now, is to have the team gel first.
Yeah. And I loved that moment when I was there and you had that clapping drill moment. Do we still do that now? Are you guys still doing the clapping drill
we
to this day?
Yeah.
And that clapping drill, if you don't know, when you say eyes up,
Yep.
and you call out a number, and that's how many times the players clap.
Yeah.
What was the mission behind that drill?
So in football, as a coach, you kind of steal stuff from people, right? So I stole that from a coach that I know. But the whole premise behind it, the object is to make sure that everybody's listening at the same, listening to the same thing. And if you heard eyes up and everybody is at attention, and then they heard the number, and then they all clapped in sync with each other, we as coaches know that they are listening. It's just like when you're breaking a huddle. Quarterback calls a play, he says 1, 2, 3, break, right? Us as coaches, we're looking at the huddle to make sure everybody clapped and said break at the same time, because that told us that everybody heard their play. They know their job, because they heard the play in the huddle. So it's a listening exercise, and we always talk about. For me, we've always talked about, and I've always coached that listening is the number one skill that you can have. Not the rule, the number one skill. And if you're teaching it as a skill, then you can tell them to take that skill into the classroom, right? Because now if you're listening in the classroom, then you're using that skill, you're perfecting that skill. It can take you far.
And can we speak on your other pillars of successful football? I know you said listening. I believe discipline was in there. Mm-hmm. And what else does a football team need, in your opinion, to be successful?
Something else that I stole from probably one of the best coaches ever.
You're just stealing.
Bill Belichick. Do your job, right? Do your job. You take it into the workplace. If you're in an assembly line making cars and you are not doing your job, that part of the car is going to be wrecked, right? It's going to be a bad part. So do your job. Worry about your battle, right? We talk about little battles within the game to help us win the war, right? If everybody's winning their battle or not losing their battle, you don't have to win all the time. You just have to not lose.
Yeah.
And we could gives us a better chance to win the war.
And fellas here, how are you doing in school otherwise? How's your academics? Because, you don't want to get taken off the football field. Because
it will happen.
How is that? How is school going as far as academics and having that tied to football, right? If you're not doing well, then you may not be on the field. Is that good motivation for you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Michael's like, you didn't say enough. I wanted to say whatever you said. How was that help? Is that good motivation for you, that doing good in the classroom, doing well in the classroom is also guarantees football, or if you can lose that?
Yeah, it helps motivate,
Yeah.
like, a lot. Even if it's just like a tiring day, you still gotta, push through and finish the work.
Yeah. And Mo, these players, you always say you're excited for them, right? It's not about you. It's about them having this opportunity. What do you want your team to leave with you as their new coach?
I want them to leave first having fun, of course. The game is still, like I said, it's still a game. So I want to make sure everybody have fun. But, of course, the memories, being able to get together with their teammates 20 years from now and talk about, their football career or season that they had, the special moments that they had, playing football for Virtus High School. And then, coming back to the school and supporting the school. As an alumni,
Yeah.
So that's what I shoot for, and of course, as a coach personally, I always say the number one thing that I've ever gained in this game, it's not the fame, it's not the money, all that kind of stuff. It's the relationships that you gain while you're playing this game. I got dudes that I played football with in college that are like brothers, like literally brothers. I tell people all the time, if I get stuck at an airport, I'm pretty sure I got a brother somewhere close that's gonna come get me, and I'm gonna stay at his house for the night and then go.
Yeah.
Because all the football I play, I'm not gonna date myself and say how many years I played, but it's like that for a lot of brothers, and it's a fraternity.
Yes.
So it's I want them to leave having fun, have had fun. Some real good stories of some special times with football, and then coming back to support the school, because that's what it's about.
And Michael, do you feel as if you are creating a brotherhood on this football team? Are your teammates, are you guys really close? Do you guys, you know, help each other and motivate each other? What is that relationship like between players?
I feel like most of the players on the team are close with each other, and they talk like outside of school and sometimes inside of school.
And Jariel, do you guys, how is that? Yeah, how is that brotherhood with your players, and why is that important?
It's definitely brotherhood. If you hear how people talk to each other, you know, it's definitely sound like a brother relationship. But it's important because, like I said earlier, you can't trust someone on the field that you don't trust off. So having a team you trust to do their job, having that brotherhood and that bond and chemistry is really important. And then Virtus also help with that because you mostly have classes with most of the people you see every day. So you really build that bond over the years.
Okay. And I believe we have a caller, don't we? You have a caller? Okay, we're going to take a caller. You guys ready? Okay. Hello, caller.
Hi there.
Hi, how are you? Do you have a comment or question for our guest in the studio today?
Yes, I do.
Yes.
First, I wanted to compliment the young man who in one reference or another, used the phrase "doing his research."
Yes.
And I just want to encourage the coach to encourage all the boys, particularly in this political climate, to do their research because there's so much crapola out there. And it's important for these young men to develop
Yes,
those
absolutely.
skills, you know. And secondly, I wanted to say, I almost would say the top thing and you just were asking, what do you want to leave them with or whatever? And I say respect for women, because it is a terrible, terrible part of the world these days. And as Susan B. Anthony would say, you know, everyone is equal and everyone deserves respect. And unfortunately, I see all too many young men of every color, race, shape, size, and background not doing that. And they need to be schooled in how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't just happen. So I encourage that, and I'll take my answer off the air. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much
thank
for
you,
that.
Barbara. This is Barbara from Brighton. Thank you,
Yeah.
Barbara. As a woman,
Yeah.
I will piggyback off of what Barbara said. Is that something that's in your plan, Maurice? I know you.
That's so crazy that she said that she just said that, because I think last week was I've been reading the bulletin boards in the school since I've been there, and it's on one of them, right?
It's actually in our creed. So
There you go. It's in our
we
creed. Yeah.
we say our creed every morning. The boys say the creed, and this is what we live by. It's what we train and preach to our students and teach them how to do it. So we actually do say we respect and care for women in our creed. So when she said that, it just
Right.
kind of put a smile on my face, because
Right.
that's exactly what we're teaching the boys at the school, and we just make sure that they know, like, that's a part of life growing up, is respecting and caring for women. So
Yeah, because I seen that beam on your faces when she said that. I'm like, oh, okay.
They literally say it every day.
Every day.
That's
amazing. It's part of the creed of the school. So you say that every morning.
every day.
Okay, we have Howie from Brighton on the line. Hi, Howie. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I'm so happy that you're featuring Virtus and these young men from Virtus, because it's so important that they tell their story, not only about football, but the fact that these young men are getting educated around sports, around education, because they are the future of the Rochester community. Mm-hmm. They're going to be leading our workforce. They're going to be leading our businesses. And these young men are getting an amazing education, very well-rounded. And I'm just proud that they're being featured on your show today.
Thank you, Howie.
Thank
Thank you so much. Creating the future, right?
Yeah. That's what Virtus is about.
That is.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you? How are you guys? I know you're smiling and you're enjoying this moment, but are you feeling that Virtus High School is preparing you for that future, and sports and football is preparing you for that future?
Yeah, absolutely. Other schools I've been to, I don't think they really focus this much on students themselves. They focus on their academics, yeah, but like the student themselves, I don't think they really focus on that, how they're doing outside of school, how their day-to-day life is, you know. So at Virtus, they really check on that. Your preceptors, it's more like a personal counselor, really. You could go to them, tell them any problem you want, and they'll help you solve it, and they won't stop until they do.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a good point. So is this something, I don't know if it is available in other schools, right? But is this something unique to Virtus?
Yeah, the preceptor position is unique to Virtus. It's not in any other school. And it's really, honestly, I like to call it the backbone of the school. Like he said, we don't stop. If there's a problem that you need help fixing, we don't. Every day we don't stop. Every day we up to bat. If we can't figure it out, we lean on each other and we figure it out. So, yeah, the preceptor position is unique to Virtus. Yeah.
And as a preceptor and an assistant head coach, right? That's
Yeah, he doubling
up.
Yeah, but honestly, it's there's no different. If you come to Virtus, the language is the same. Whether that's in the classroom, in the hallway, on the football field, on the basketball court, on the baseball field, it doesn't matter. The language is absolutely the same, and we're all striving to again build leaders of character in our community. So it's really easy for me to kind of flip hats on and off. So.
Yeah, and the principal, Levi Bennett, when I spoke with him, he did mention that is something that you and him, Mo, that you had in common. Your mission for developing these men into successful young men with good morals, good character, was something you guys shared in common. Can you tell us a little bit about that interview, right? That talk that you and Levi Bennett had, the principal of Virtus. I know that's one of the moments that made you realize like this may be the right fit for me.
Yep. Even before I went into that interview, when I first met Levi, I did my research on the school, and when I learned more about the preceptor position, I was like, man, this is something that needs to catch fire. Like this needs to happen everywhere, because the men and women in those positions have literally vowed to take on these kids as their own kids, right? Making sure that their mental health, their physical health, and everything is intact, so these men can go out into the world and make it a better place. And for anybody to agree to do that and put that pressure on themselves with 20, up to 20 kids, you got to be a special person, right? So when I went into the meeting, I'm like, you got this many preceptors, this many, and then when you go into the building, there's no way you won't be blown away. There's no way you won't be blown away, because the vibe in the building, the energy in the building, the way we start the morning meetings in the building is nothing like. I've been to college. I went to Syracuse, and there's nothing like that. I've never seen anything like that. And it just puts a good vibe in you. If you're having a bad morning, it's going to stop right there, right after that first meeting. And I know that's what it's for, too. So, I guess, and then, going and sitting with Levi, he explained, the mission of Virtus and things like that. And then you read the signs in there that the boys read every day and the creed that they speak every day. And, one of the things that stuck out to me from Levi was that he said that Virtus is a place that is not afraid to go outside of the box to help the kids, right? And that's what it takes today. Like the young lady that just called in said, with the climate of the world today, you need to do things differently. You need to do things the correct way, and Virtus is doing all that. And
Yeah, and I can attest to this environment, right? When I got there, it was so welcoming. The energy was amazing. I felt like, listen, okay, I'm gonna do a good story. You don't have to try to, woo me. I'm gonna do a good story.
That was it.
But this is exactly the environment there, right? And the young men are very respectful, especially to women. And I can really attest to the environment that you're creating at Virtus. So I want to commend all of you.
Thank you.
For what you're doing for young black men, and for you fellas, I know you've been to other schools. What makes Virtus different?
Like I said, the preceptor position definitely makes it different. I've never seen anything like that in school, where just someone they have so close to you. Another thing is the learning. They make sure you really understand. Like, they really try to get it across to the student. They don't like when a student just wants to give up the work or doesn't want to do it. they really want to make sure it gets done. They get in contact with parents. Sometimes they nag. I think that's what's an important part of the job is that
when
they
someone
really wanna
stops
get it done.
nagging, that means they don't care anymore, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's relationships too, right? When she stops nagging, she doesn't care anymore.
Y'all just got a lesson from a
You
woman.
just got a lesson. And for you, this preceptor position, how does that have influence on you, Michael?
I feel like with a preceptor, it's more like they're helping you with the real world instead of like only helping you with like academics. Because with other schools, they only want you to learn. But I feel like here in Virtus, they feel like they want you to learn and know about like the real world and how you should, go about it.
Oh, well, there we go. There we have it.
Yes.
All right. I want to thank all of you for joining us. Mo Jackson, the head coach at Virtus High School football. Maurice Rice, the lead preceptor and also the assistant head coach. And my two players, Jadiel Medina and Michael Rogers. I wish you
for
a
having
great
us.
season,
Yeah, thank
right?
you.
And
Thank you very
congratulations
much.
on your new position.
Yep.
And I'll check in and make sure that he's doing his job. Okay. All right, fellas.
Thank you so much for having us, Rocky. We
You're
appreciate
welcome. Stay tuned for the next hour of Connections.
This program is a production of WXXI Public Radio. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of this station, its staff, management, or underwriters. The broadcast is meant for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or use in another medium without expressed written consent of WXXI is strictly prohibited. Connections with Evan Dawson is available as a podcast. Just click on the Connections link at WXXInews.org.
Support for your public radio station comes from our members and from Mary Cariola Center, proud supporter of Connections with Evan Dawson, believing an informed and engaged community is a connected one. MaryCariola.org.